We don't get to choose the country we are born in, our race, or the color of our skin. But as we grow up, we are given a few choices of our own. For me, that meant moving to a different country, finding a partner, and choosing a place where I could imagine spending the rest of my life, something that once felt like a distant privilege. During COVID, we visited Queenstown from Gisborne. It was meant to be just a visit, but we fell in love immediately. We decided right away that we will move here. Still, it took us 2 years to gather the courage to pack our bags and actually do it. I chose this place because I grew up in the mountains, the trees, the rivers, the air. The energy felt familiar. It wasn't new to me, the people were strangers, but nature felt like a long lost friend. At the time, the only rental we could find was in Arrowtown, a place we didn't even like when we visited in 2020. But we began our life here from scratch. New jobs, new weather. Everything felt unfamiliar from North Island. The cold, the silence, the bare trees, and the grey nature. It didn't feel like a wow at first. But then spring came, then summer, then autumn. Slowly life started to come together. We began building our life as a family. We were living a dream, a home where I learned gardening, composting, and so many small things that brought me an immense peace and gratitude. Life felt like a collection of perfect moments. We were deeply grateful, and life was comfortable, calm, and full of love. Then one small text from the landlord changed everything. He received a text about a rental increase. It was a big jump. Then one day at work, I received a request to inspect some work at Lake Havea. It's just an hour from Queenstown, and it is in the same district. It was familiar to me. I have worked on several projects here, but I never thought of moving here. I briefly looked at real estate listings, saw one section, applied for it, applied for a loan, and decided to build a house. It was so fast, my brain couldn't process things at that time. And while I was meant to celebrate, I was feeling empty.
Junior, I'm tired, Junior.
I was born in Nepal. I didn't grow up with my parents. My childhood wasn't filled with love or kindness. Mountains became my sense of safety, of familiar comfort. Open land actually scares me. It feels like endless, like there might be a sudden drop somewhere I can't see. Mountains, on the other hand, feel protective, like a giant presence holding me steady. Arrowtown felt that way. It felt like home again, a safe place. We moved here because of how deeply I connect with nature. I keep saying this, nature is same everywhere. And looking at this broad peak, the Arrow River, I can promise you, it felt just like where I was born. I felt so fortunate to be living in a place that mirrored my childhood. And the resemblance is almost shocking. I knew these trees, the smell of the forest, different seasons. There were days when we walked along the river and I felt waves of nostalgia. Sometimes the scent of the forest brought back memories of me and my brother fishing in a cold river, sometimes of my mother, sometimes my father, or even sometimes my uncle carrying us in a backpack to cross the river. Arrowtown gave me all of that. It might not be the prettiest place for everyone, but to me, it was my home. So packing up and leaving this place broke something me in again. I felt angry, heartbroken, even worst feeling than leaving Nepal itself. While there were moments of excitement about building a house, there was also something heavy I couldn't explain. It felt like losing everything again. I prayed, I hoped, I wished. I spoke to the mountains, the trees, and the rivers, asking them to stop me from leaving, but they didn't. I left Arrowtown feeling the saddest I've ever felt. I was angry that love had a price, that nature came with a price tag, and it felt so unfair. My emotions were all over the place. I was exhausted physically and emotionally, and also packing, cleaning, moving, unpacking, starting over, making endless decisions, including financial ones were crazy. It was a crazy times. But it has been over a month now. We are here in our first home. It is half full, boxes everywhere. The garden is still empty. It doesn't feel like home yet. And I won't lie about that, because accepting that this isn't the place I once dreamed of living has been hard. A day or two is okay for a heart to mourn, but a week, a month, that's too long. So I decided to move on, and over the past few days, I reflected and talked to myself. Yes, I lived that experience, I feel it deeply, but now I have to accept it and move forward. It's funny how life teaches you to hold on, but then it asks you to let go. I'm grateful for this life. This is my first home. I have always lived in a hostel, guys. I've never lived in a house. I didn't grow up with my parents, so having a house is another story which I'll share in future videos. I always wanted a house with no landlord. I just never said where. Maybe the universe listened and answered in its own way. This video isn't about complaining, guys, and my heart isn't ungrateful. I'm sincerely saying this. I think it is just adjusting between the life I'm living and the life I thought I was meant to live. And this video is more about reflection, about understanding that emotions rise and fall, that adjustment can take some time, that not every place feels like home right away. We have also decided to practice acceptance and give all our positive energy to this place in our home. I know this feeling is temporary, but writing it down, speaking it out loud brings me immense peace. I'm in a really better shape now, and I'm very grateful I could make this video. And I'm looking forward to sharing our life in this house and this town, and there is a lot of work to do, guys, but I will try my best to create more videos. And if you are still watching till the end, I just want to remind you that it's okay to feel your emotions, feel it so deeply, cry about it, but also learn to release it slowly. And that way I think life becomes less of a fight, it becomes less of a just survival. Thank you so much for listening and watching my video and being part of this story, and I hope to see you in my next video. And please share your story if you have felt the same way. Thank you very much. Bye for now.